Our region's business is sponsored by PNC Bank, solutions that help you achieve your goals in life. PNC, leading the way. And by Heffron Tillotson, a history of meticulous wealth management since 1948. Our region's business, innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on our region's business, Pittsburgh is powering up to welcome the world during the G20 summit in September. Plus, a public-private partnership sets out to revitalize an historic city neighborhood. But first, G20. The heads of state of 19 countries and the European Union are visiting our region September 24th and 25th to discuss the state of the global economy and other issues. Pittsburgh's getting ready to put out the welcome mat and to prepare for thousands of visitors from around the world. Luke Ravenstahl is the mayor of the city of Pittsburgh and the co-chair of the Pittsburgh G20 partnership, which is coming together to welcome the world. And welcome here. Good to have you.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you've got the inside knowledge, I hope, that everybody's been asking about since this became public a couple of months ago. Why Pittsburgh? How did we land the G20 summit?
Well, you know, there's no sexy answer to that question. It was simply a phone call from the White House to my office as well as the county executives, and they suggested that they were considering Pittsburgh as a finalist city to host the G20 summit in September. And were we interested? To which, of course, we responded absolutely.
Were we interested?
Right. Yeah. What is it that we need to do to be chosen? You know, they had the Secret Service come in and do a tour of the convention center, and a couple of weeks later received even a better phone call from the White House suggesting that we were the host city for the G20 summit. So I think there's a couple of different reasons. One is our ability as a city and as a region to kind of reinvent ourselves and survive this national downturn in the economy. Another is this region's ability and willingness to invest in green, sustainable practices, I think was very important in the president's mind. And third is that the president himself has seemed to really enjoy Pittsburgh. Obviously, his relationship with Dan Rooney and some of the folks in this city being back here time and time again, I think is another reason for the White House selection of Pittsburgh. So we're extremely excited about the opportunity we have to host the world in September.
You're talking about the green thing. Obviously, the convention center itself had to have played a big part in all of this.
I think so. When you're looking at the convention center being the largest LEED certified convention center in the world, certainly is a tribute to, you know, this city, this region, and our willingness to be sustainable and think about those types of issues long before even it was popular to do so. And the convention center is probably our #1 example of that, and to be you know, the center, the hub for the G20 summit, I think was very important in the eyes of the White House.
What do you think about the last 10 years in particular, the transformation, the sort of outdoor transformation, the riverfronts, the trails and everything? It's really been a remarkable change in terms of quality of life.
It has, and you know, we have, as a city, I think, a challenge of telling that story to the world. The good news is they'll be here in September, so we have the opportunity to do so. But this is a city that's much different than what people, I think, originally think of. In Pittsburgh, I have the opportunity frequently as the mayor to see people that visit here, whether it's for conventions, for business, even just for pleasure. And I can tell you that all of them, and this is no exaggeration, I've never had somebody say something bad about Pittsburgh, and they all go on and on and on again about how wonderful our city is. I never knew how beautiful it was. I never knew, like you said, the outdoor opportunities that exist, our wonderful trail system along the riverfront, the easy access in and around the city. And so we're really excited. I think we've already won because we have them coming. And, of course, we know, as Pittsburghers always do, we'll unite and put our best foot forward to really welcome the world this September.
Well, it's like anybody's got company coming. You know, you got to vacuum, you got to get the food ready and whatever else. And where does that stand, the red up piece of this? Is that moving forward right now?
It is, and we will be announcing here in the very near future, you know, our cleanup campaigns, our green up campaigns as relates to the G20. September 4th is going to be our kind of kickoff to that. So we'll have a 20-day red up, cleanup sessions that will go on the weekend of September 11th, 12th, and 13th. There will be citywide cleanups happening, mainly in major corridors and in areas throughout the city that the ambassadors and world leaders will be visiting. We also have tree planting, events that are scheduled, green sustainable, as we mentioned before, initiatives underway, so bike racks that we're going to be putting strategically in downtown, recycling containers, all part of our effort to make sure that Pittsburgh is seen by the leaders throughout the world, really the city that we are, and the wonderful place that Pittsburgh is.
Well, I guess if they're coming here expecting green and sustainability, we got to deliver outside of the convention
center.
Sure,
absolutely, and you know, the downtown area in many ways will be a focus because that's where the primary activity will occur, with, of course, the convention center and then all the other, you know, cultural district amenities. We still don't know, or we still know less than really what we want to know at this point, so we don't know where the events outside the convention center will take place, but we're preparing to do so. But I think it's safe to say that downtown really will be the focus of the G20 summit. Then of course, we're allocating our resources there, whether it's cleaning up storefronts, whether it's resurfacing streets, dealing with, you know, issues, infrastructure issues in downtown, all the focus of our Public Works Department and public safety entities.
Good to hear that's all unfolding. Of course, a lot of attention in recent weeks on the public safety side of all of this, and those preparations clearly are important for an event of this magnitude. How's all of that proceeding, and how big a concern is it? We've heard a lot about the money piece of this and the cost. Is that a concern?
Well, I think it's a concern, but at the same time, I feel comfortable and confident that we will have the resources we need to keep the people safe, whether they're local residents, whether they're visitors, whether they're world leaders. Public safety is clearly one of our #1 priorities, if not the #1 priority, as we look at the G20. You've seen some of these events throughout the world that have, you know, kind of gone the wrong way. They've been disruptive, and so we understand the need to make sure that we have a very active public safety plan in place. The Secret Service is leading that effort, of course, working with us locally, and I'm comfortable with where we are here now. We sit here in July, a few months away, and I really think the plans are starting to unfold in a way that I'm comfortable that we'll be able to keep everybody safe. And the money, I think it's been a big issue recently, but I am confident that, you know, locally we'll come up with some funds, and then of course look to our friends in the state and federal government who have really looked at it in a way that I think looked at it positively in the short term, and I think long term we will be able to recoup many of our funds that we'll spend on the public safety side.
It's hard to imagine that the feds are going to stick us with a tab for something like this.
Sure.
Congressman Doyle's, we have friends in Washington too, and some pretty important players that can help.
We do, and we've had you know, contact with them recently about our concerns about the cost. To which they responded favorably. We're going to sit down and have more detailed discussions, outline for them the exact costs that we're going to incur. We're talking about having 4,000 police officers here during those 2 or 3 days. When you consider that we, as a City of Pittsburgh Police Bureau, only have 900 police officers, it really speaks to the volume and the magnitude of the amount of officers that we're going to need. And so, of course, that with 4,000 officers comes costs, et cetera, and that's really what we'll be talking with the congressmen about, with our state senators and even United States senators about getting some funds for Pittsburgh.
Okay, only a few seconds left, but I got to ask you, when this is all over on September 26th, what do you hope the world is going to think about Pittsburgh? Well,
that it's a great place to do business and a great place to come, and I think we have an opportunity on those couple of days to showcase that, but more importantly, it should be about more than 2 or 3 days. It should be about a long-term, lasting relationship between these countries and the city of Pittsburgh, and I really hope that that's what we're able to achieve over the course of those couple of days.
All right, Luke Ravenstahl, thanks so much.
Bill.
Good luck with it all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And next up, powering up Pittsburgh for the G20 with clean energy. Stay with us.